Tonight in The Price of Freedom, we have the story of a World War II veteran, 94-year-old John Joseph J. McFalls. It's a story about a young soldier who fell in love and stayed there.
I saw your face in that rainbow, and it made me think of our love.
That song, Rainbow at Midnight, was #1 in 1946. It's all about coming home from World War II and growing a family. Jay McFalls says it's a story that he lived. He lived through a lot growing up in Rhea County. He didn't have much money. He left home at 12, came to Chattanooga at 15, and got a job.
I saw this pretty little girl sitting on the steps, eating a sandwich and drinking a big orange. And I went and sat down by her, and I reached over and took a sip of that big orange.
He said she got mad, very mad.
And we've been together ever since.
Her name was Vivian, and that was the year he joined the Army.
I went to South Pacific, New Guinea, and Philippines, and Okinawa.
And what'd you do?
I was in the Army Engineers.
He came home on furlough, and Jay and Vivian got married. After the war, they lived here, grew a family. He says the thing he looked forward to every day was coming home to Vivian.
I never will forget the day I come home from work. And she said, "Jay, come here and let me show you something." Right there at that dining room table. The old payment book. There were no more payments in it.
They had paid off their house. He told me Vivian grew up poor just like he did. He said she moved 12 times before she was 12.
She said, "Nobody will ever tell us to leave anymore."
That dining room table, he now calls it the truth table.
Everything here is the truth.
We found a lot of things on that table.
This is Vivian here, this is Vivian here, and that's Vivian over there.
There are pictures of his family, a Bible, a book about civil rights icon John Lewis, a book about Okinawa. His picture's in that book. When he retired, he and Vivian would go play songs at senior centers. She would play piano, and he played his guitar.
We'll build our home in the country.
Vivian passed away a few years ago, brain cancer. After a while, he started singing again at the VA on Fridays, but COVID canceled that. One thing that won't get canceled, his trips to the Chattanooga National Cemetery where she's buried. Jay visits her there every morning before breakfast. Every single morning, he goes there to talk to her.
Whether anybody wants to believe me or not, she knows what we're talking about. And then I come back home and I bring her memories with me.
Jay McFalls, he told me they didn't have much money when he went to fight the war. I asked him about his service. He said, quote, "What did I do? I had something to eat." Bless her heart, she didn't have nothing to eat, close quote. That's a perspective on the war you don't hear very often.